tal amigos? Muy buenas tardes. Sean bienvenidos más a una transmisión de Spoken Learning. Mi nombre es Ricardo Olmos y estoy aquí para hablar el día de hoy de un nuevo tema. Remember, guys, that we provide private lessons and we teach children and adults starting at 5 years and up. So, if you have this craving, if you have this idea, this thinking about that you need to learn a new language, because there are so many reasons to learn Spanish if you live in the United States, because you have a lot of Latin friends, because you maybe have a lot of business with them, and just because we are the biggest minority in the United States. So, if you want to learn, come with us. We are the best, truly the best option so you can learn Spanish. And you may ask why. And it's very simple because all of our teachers are Spanish speaking teachers. I mean, every one of us know how to speak in Spanish and also know how to speak in English, which is so good for us and so good for you because you are going to learn in the best way. You are going to learn with natives. Okay. So this is amazing for us because we are growing so much and this is very important. Okay. So as the matter that we are growing, come and join us. You can call and you can ask for a trial private lesson and to this number, to the number 1-832-413-3166. And as I told you, you can schedule a private lesson. You can also a free trial, have a free trial lesson, and you can see the way that we teach you. Remember, we teach you at the rhythm that you want, at the way that you want, and most of it, the things that you need to learn. This is very important because sometimes um, we go to some schools and you see a lot of things, but not the things that you need. Here in Spoken Learning, you are going to learn what you need to learn at your own rhythm and at your own way. Okay, so do not hesitate and give us a call, send us a message, or look for us in our different social media. Okay, guys? And today we are going to talk of something that it's really interesting and so cool for Mexican people. And we are going to talk about a counterculture that has a great it was a part of the history of Mexicans in the Latino United States, you know. So today we're going to talk about los pachucos. Los pachucos are the counterculture of the rich. So the pachucos, as you can see them, maybe you saw this in some movies, or even if you saw the movie The Mask from Jim Carrey in the 90s, has to a lot to do with this. The Pachucos are male members of a counterculture associated with suit fashion. Remember, this was the fashion from the beginning of the 1940s and stayed during almost until the finish of the 50s. Okay, and remember, this was from the time of the Second World War. So it has a really deep meaning about it. Okay, so the jazz and the swing music and the distinct dialect known as Caló. The Caló is a dialect that they used to speak, which is a way to speak Spanish in a very slang way. Okay, so this was very important because this counterculture given to these people the sense of empowerment in rejection of assimilation into Anglo-American society that emerged in Los Angeles in the late 1930s. So what happened? The people from that time had a lot of money, and the Pachuco was, if I can say it like very raw, the poor people, you know. So the poor people used to have this, how can I say it, this idea to look with fashion, but they wanted to change something, you know. They wanted to, I mean, they don't have the money, so that's why they use this kind of suits. Most of the suits that they use at the beginning of the pachucos was because it was bigger suits, because remember, Americans and Mexicans, there's different sizes, so they have to use it because they, I mean, sometimes they steal it, sometimes they brought it, but they were so big, that's why they use these clothes so big. Then that become a signature of the style of the pachuco. Okay, so this, it was a way to be stylish without any money. Okay, so the origins of the Pachuca subculture emerged along the borders of Mexico and the United States during the late 19th century and the early 20th century. In the fact, the colloquial term Pachuco referred to someone from a border city, del Pachuco. okay, from the other place. Moreover, the migration of Mexican American youths to the largest city of the United States during the 1930s and the 1940s contributed to a significant development of the Pachuco subculture. So what happened? A lot of young people went to the United States and they started living as a Pachuco. You can see that image. I love this picture. It's just one of the pictures that I most like about the Pachuco. To be really stylish, to be really cool, but um, keeping this idea of being Mexican. You know, sometimes it's a little bit hard for them to understand that they are not Mexican because they didn't live here in Mexico, and they also are not American because they don't belong to that country by nature. You know, so the border is always a problem for them because they don't feel, they feel between one another. Okay, and it says that in studying the early Pachuco, the researchers focused on the function of Calo language in establishing and maintaining the Pachuco subculture. Spanish gypsies, which was the original architects of the Calo language, drew influences from many languages through their world travels. Furthermore, the Pachuco adapted Calo by combining English, working class Spanish, as well as its own slang to terms to conceal illegal activities such as drug trades, as well as conceiving cultural meanings to create the Pachuco speech. For example, in a very simple instance, um, the way that you say truck, they change it to say troca. They refer to vámonos en la troca. Let's go in the truck. Why? Because they changed the language and they make it by their own. Okay, the troca. Or for example, if you say that, hey, go park there, they say, hey, parquéate allá, because they mix both languages. And this is what's the interesting thing about it, because it's a really interesting phenomenon about the language that it happened between the border in Mexico and the United States. And as you can see, there are some super hype pictures of the Pachucos. I love that, guys, because they were so stylish and they were so, you know, this grew a lot of confidence between them because they finally felt like they belonged somewhere. Okay. And we are going to talk about very quick about the one of the most important representatives of the Pachuco culture, which was Tintan, as called as El Pachuco de Oro or the Golden Pachuco, because he was the one who brought all the idea of the Pachucos to Mexico because he was an actor. Okay, so Germán Genaro Cipriano Gómez Valdés y Castillo, he was born el 19 de septiembre de 1915 y he passed away on June of 1973. He was known professionally as Tintan. And he said that Tintan because he was all the time singing and, you know, doing this scat like, see, say Tintan. He was a Mexican actor, singer, comedian, and he also gave his voice to a lot of movies. One of them was the Jungle Book. He was the voice in Spanish for Baloo the bear. So he was born in Mexico City, but he was raised and began his career in Ciudad Juárez, Chihuahua. And he often displayed the Pachuco dress and employed Pachuco slang in many of his movies, some with his brothers Manuel El Loco Valdés y Ramón Valdés, conocido como Don Ramón. So this guy was really well known in Mexico. It's part of one of the greatest culture of our country, and this is one of the most important things. He made the language of the border Mexican known in Spanish as fronterizos pachucos famous in Mexico. A gallop based in Spanglish, which is the combination between Spanish and English. It was a mixture of these two languages, and this speech was based that of the Mexican side of the border, and specifically Ciudad Juárez. So this is a very interesting, guys. This is very interesting because this is part of our one of our cultures that we have between the United States and Mexico. So if you want to learn more about this, and most of it you want to learn how to speak Spanish, remember that you can call us or give us a text to the number that is down here, the number 1-832-413-3166, and you can schedule a private lesson. And most of it, you can learn Spanish in a very simple way. We always try to make you as easy as possible. Do not be afraid. Spanish is very simple if you learn with the right ones. And who's the right one? Of course, spoken learning. So, guys, remember, call us, text us, or look at us on our social media or in this number, 1-832-413-3166. And I hope that I really see you soon. We start from 5-year-old and up, and even a little bit younger. So, age is not a problem for us. We have teachers that can make classes for kids, for teens, for adults in older adults. So do not hesitate. Don't be afraid. You will learn very fast. And this is the best way. How else can you learn Spanish if you are talking with Latinos? Okay? So give us a call, send us a message, look at us on our social media. Okay, guys? So I wish you to have a great, great, great day, a great weekend. Y nos vemos la próxima semana y espero verlos muy pronto en nuestras clases. Así es que por favor, llámenos o mándenos un texto a este número o búsquenos en nuestras redes sociales, en Facebook, en Twitter y en Instagram. Recuerden que estamos listos para darles las mejores clases. Adiós amigos y tengan un hermoso fin de semana. Adiós.